Okay, this poem is about my son, his father, the partner I was with at the time, the pain I was feeling in my body that led me to have to have my son adopted. Okay. Energy like a run-on sentence, piping through a forest of defense, melting away the newcomers and stragglers. Energy wasted on haters and naggers. You don't like who you have become and you take it out on everyone. Opiate's the drug you feel okay, don't you? A little numb, don't you? It's your favorite feeling, but your numb life is not healing. Take away satiates so you can have some privacy hence. Take away this blaming thing, I'm the only one who deserves fame. I hear the yells, the naysayers, the haters, kind one minute, gone the next, all the people that hate me. I've had to be the hater, hating all those who have thwarted my mission, gaslit my birth. From the seething, scorching fire from which I have come, trial by fire, as they call it. But I have won amidst the haters and the foes, because I have never lost who I really was. Drowning in pools of tears 1,000 miles deep, and I've watched you creep along the edges, along the hedges, waiting for the frail. But I have always been strong. Bones breaking, I got on the bus and went to the hospital. They could not help me there. Superior attitudes, they were only scared. Guess I knew that before I entered. My nervous system always on edge. I would wake up and poise for another day, or I had to run away. But stuck in this game, I played the perfect daughter, the glue of the family. Had to hold everything together at age 9. Now what I do with this family of mine. I'm not ready to be a mother, but he's standing in front of me asking for some water. And I'm worried that I'm raising a kid with no boundaries, a manipulator. Too tired to stop and turn things around, I sat him down. Where I am lost, he is found. But I still want to give it a winter, a song in the clouds up high. I'd give it a try, oh, I'd give it a try. Still afraid somebody's trying to kill me, a brand new level of slavery. But I can't pay anybody to help me. I pray to God, and he's listening. I connect with Mother Earth in the beginning and pray to God that someone is listening. If God would only hear me, that would be okay too. But what am I supposed to do? And every record deal was the same. I was torn. I was out of place. I was lame. Did not want to be disingenuous to people, play some game to win some prize. No one really wanted to help. They stole my insides. I played music. I insisted on what I wanted. I felt empty inside. Insist or not insist, I didn't care in the beginning, and that's where I went wrong, not caring about the outcome. I will always from now on, but I can't put you aside. I can't tell you not to try. I can't hear your words and tell you not to cry. I work through bloody fingers and crying eyes. Couldn't even sit down without pain. Couldn't even sit up straight or lie down without pain. Trying to stop the cycle of pain or poverty in my everyday, trying to be a light to sign this glass plate. But people hate that I gave up on my son, but I tried, could not explain the persistent pain I feel inside, like my hand is having difficulty tying my shoe. How can I take care of a child who's 2? I say I'm sick, I explain, they're not listening. I can't do this anymore, the pain is not lessening. And you do not want to hear about it really, or you wouldn't have started with an insult, casting a stone in my way. At this point, I'm glad my son is safe, because I was no longer going to be able to keep the monsters away. See, back then, working behind the counter, I'd come home and be so tired. I could not do anymore. I'd sit down, then force myself up and get him some food. I would nurse him, and the pain in my breasts was so much I was going numb. I don't think, once going back to work, that I was producing enough milk for him. He kept looking at the food in the cupboard at 3 months old, but I did as the doctor said and waited till 6 months to start. Just keep writing it, tearing the page and writing it. Your back hurts, preventing it all day. Doing stretches and strengthening all day to get your mind to play with your body again so there can be some cohesion. Every time I brush my teeth, I feel like I'm going to fall over, so I avoid it until I don't like the taste of my mouth. My stomach hurts so much I'm screaming. Every time I go to Walmart, I want to run and hide from the noises, the lights and the noises. This is not a quality of life. Symptoms getting worse as the years go by, and I try to take my health into my own hands. Oh, how I try. One sec. I don't eat bread for the most part anymore. My stomach's still bleeding out of me. I barely eat sugar anymore. My stomach's bleeding out of me. I drink tea now. My stomach's bleeding out of me. Don't pretend to understand me. I've been through pain that you would rather not dream about. Every food I eat feeling like poison in my mouth. I try to get up and eat again. I want to feel human. Something tastes good. I eat a little too much. Now I can't. Mix up the pages. I don't know. Okay. Still wishing to this day I had listened to my baby. When I started feeding him vegetables, he ate them all up. He was growing so fast, the lucky one. Despite my being a little behind, he looked 2 years older than his age, growing like a vine. I could get him to snack after baby food, anything he would ingest, mostly apples, bread, yogurt, and cookies. If I was going to eat them, couldn't withhold them, you see. We'd both eat about 6 Albertsons chocolate chip cookies, and I'd put away the package. I wasn't good at making meals we could eat. I'd never been taught that. So rice, eggs, bread were the staples. When I got vegetables, I'd try to get him to eat them, but he was 2. I couldn't force him. Brushed his teeth every night like I was supposed to and flossed them occasionally too. Often read him bedtime stories and felt that I was reprocessing love, care. Things I should have felt growing up, but I didn't. I didn't grow up in a happy home. There was always noise. I worry sometimes because the man I got with when I had to give my child away didn't love my child, and I think sometimes the sweet one might have misunderstood because he did not really understand how much pain Mommy was in, so much so that she could not take care of him. So Daddy came up from another state, a man he barely knew, and took him away for about a year. Me and the baby did communicate. I could tell at age 4 he was getting depressed in his environment. With his dad, his quality of life was worse and different. I could not reach him for months after and did not try to. I had a split personality and started calling myself Rebecca. My then partner liked Rebecca more than Rosie, but I was both of them for a while. I could forget my child was missing. I don't know. Maybe 3 to 6 months, I received a letter from CPS down south. I'm supposed to acknowledge I'm living at my address. If I even was, that's up for debate. I was still Rebecca, so I threw the letter away. Another 6 months, maybe 8. My brain is coming back from a dissociative state. He's my child again. I'm starting to understand why. Call up old friends and get the numbers and names. Rosetta, the caseworker, answers the phone. She tries to put me in a place I don't want to go. Treats me like an uncaring mother because I let my child go. But I'm still so sick, so I let her know. I would like it to be a closed adoption. See, I wanted my son to feel safe and taken care of. I knew what he'd been through had done something to upend him. Who was I to disturb the peace he found with a new family? I talked to them once soon after. I was mad because they wanted the phone call to have a listener. I was demanding and somewhat livid, but gauging their love and devotion towards my son was not difficult. They deeply cared for him, and that I felt. When I went to give up my rights, a closed adoption was the right thing to do. I couldn't deny it. It was the right thing to do. Brizada would never understand, never answer another call or email from me. I was off her list, don't you see? Later that summer, I tried to find the parents' number. I was having a nervous breakdown, and I'd still made the right decision for my son, for he was my only one. In this goodbye letter, I write to him, I'm sorry for all the stress you endured at such a young age. But I had no energy left for you at the end of the day. I could not sleep. I had trouble walking. At work, I pressed a computer, gritting my teeth through nerve pain, being told I wasn't doing enough. Often, I finally had to quit and let God take the reins. For the things I could not do, He took care of you and found you a loving family. So thank you, God, and my son, in faith and fun. You will always be the baby of my dreams. I will always find you fascinating. My faith and love for you never dies, dear one.